global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Global Happenings Today. Some days back, the issue of human rights against Peter Obi came to the fore, where activities allegedly so accredited to him that he brought down a lot of MASSOB members in his tenure as the governor of Anambra State. Well, the people involved, MASSOB, have decided to speak up very greatly concerning this matter, and of course, they are also bringing to the fore Biafran agitators into the matter as well. I guess Peter Obi is indeed someone that is worth listening to, such that everything that concerns him becomes a national issue. Well, let's go straight into the news to find out what MASSOB said that is vindicating Peter Obi. Quite shocking, I must say. Well, the movement for the actualization of sovereign state of Biafra, MASSOB, has consulted self-styled Biafran activist Simon Ekpa to desist from dragging the good name of former Anambra State governor and presidential candidate of Labour Party in next year's general elections, Peter Obi, into the dastard killing of its members in the state in 2013. Well, communique from the National Executive Meeting of MASSOB, presided by its leader Uche Mado, averred that it was the disbanded Notorious Special Anti-Robbery Squad, otherwise known as SARS, of the Nigerian police that massacred their members in January 2013 and dumped their bodies in Ezu River, Amasia in Anambra State. The group, which named the former commander of SARS in the state, that's James Onwafo, as responsible, urged Ekpa to stop distorting facts. A statement by National Director of Information, Comrade Ison Samuel, called for the immediate release of leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB Nnamdi Kanu, declaring that continuous arrest and detention of agitators will neither break the spirit of Biafra's struggle nor jeopardize the actualization and restoration. Though MASSOB quest for Biafra actualization and restoration can never be abandoned or jeopardized, our belief in Biafra is unfallible and unshakable. But we advise the oppressed, abandoned, deprived, and mesmerized youths, women, men, and students to secure the permanent voters' cards to enable them remove their oppressors and tyrannical leaders from the federal to state government. That MASSOB won the 2023 general election must be peaceful, fair, and credible. That INEC must maintain the independence of their name in discharging their electoral management duties. That MASSOB expresses surprise that one Simon Ekpa, that is based in Finland, will use the instrument of social media to distort the open truth about Ezu River killings of MASSOB members. Members of MASSOB were arrested by the defunct SARS in Anambra State, led by James Onwafo, a notorious police officer. He later killed them alongside other suspected criminals and dumped their bodies in Ezu River, Amasia, Oka. MASSOB advises distorters of truth and paid agent of destruction to stop attaching Mr. Peter Obi's name to Ezu River's killings. He did not order or supervise the arrest and subsequent killing of MASSOB members, the group stated. Now, this is very good news, if you ask me. Okay, but let's feel the pulse of Nigerians very quickly because they're talking. This one here says, it's very unfortunate because of Nigeria election, a Biafran agitator is now singing a song in Nigerian tone. If you do not know, Peter was the chief security officer of Anambra State at the time of the killings of the MASSOB members and subsequent dumping of their corpses in Ezu River, therefore making him to be responsible for the killings. If it were to be in reasonable society, that alone was enough for his resignation. What did Peter do about the gruesome killing of his own people? This person here is saying, truth is truth. Like smoke, it can never be covered. In Nigeria, intimidation is the order of the day. Before 1999 and from 1999 to date, in Nigeria, democracy is the practice, not democracy is the practice, not democracy. People are suffering and unjustifiably because of bad leadership. Education is destroyed, refineries are destroyed. In fact, nothing is working because of fraudulent officials in government. They have started to share some of their loot. The suffering youth masses are ready to vote them out of Aso Rock come 2023. God willing, there will be divine reshufflement in the country called Nigeria. All right, but let's look at this critically. Now, MASSOB is critically, as in technically, telling Simon Ekpa to stay off. He should stop distorting the truths. He should stop distorting facts. Except we don't want to tell ourselves the truth. I also heard about that story of James Nwafo. In fact, it became very glaring. A lot of Nigerians started talking about it during the hashtag NSAS when they started saying each state should begin to bring out a panel. James Nwafo's name came to fore. In fact, at some point, he started running. Okay, so that cannot be denied. Yes, somebody said something about Peter Obi being the chief security officer, but at that rate, you know that, except you also don't want to tell yourself the truth. Even Governor Wike have said it severally that how can he be a chief security officer of a state, but the police, the security architecture takes direct order from Abuja. They take direct order from IGP. IGP takes the order from the presidency and not from the state government. So now that clearly shows also that to a great extent, Peter Obi must have seen, or Wike is also experiencing what maybe Peter Obi experienced in his days as the governor. But there's some things that are not meant to come up in public on social media. But you know, Wike is one different person who does not hide. Whenever something is paining him, he will say, let the whole world hear. And that's why when a lot of Nigerians realize that when it comes to the issue of security architecture, they take direct orders from the presidency, from Aso Rock, and not from the state governors. And hence, that's why you see the likes of Akeredolu pushing for state policing, so that at least they will have direct control of the security in their state when and how they want it. Okay, now that also, to a great extent, that has exonerated Peter Obi on that ground. Now let's look at the fact that for the first time in a very long time, even MASSOB is saying, guys, go get your PVC. All right. Yes, they also mentioned the fact that they have not stopped the agitation. All right, but they want to take it one step at a time. That can Nigerians all come out, the oppressed, the widowed, the women, those whose siblings, whose relatives have been murdered, killed, those who have gone through hardship because of terrible leadership, corrupt leaders. They should vote them out of the office by the power of our PVC, and they're even urging INEC to have a peaceful and fair election. Now, technically speaking, they're saying, can we just look at how we can get Nigeria fixed one last time, then we can talk about Biafra. They said they've not dropped it, but they're also encouraging peaceful, fair elections, peaceful and credible elections in every part of Nigeria, including the southeast. Now, that is to say, technically speaking, that right now, Simon Ekpa is the only person shouting, sit at home. He's the only person shouting, no election in Biafra, and every other person have moved on. And I think he should read the wave. He should read the messaging that is going on right now. Even if he insists that Peter Obi must restore Biafra. Nigerians want Peter Obi to be the president of Nigeria. So it may just be those agitating against Nigeria. So if you ask me, why not let's see how this will work out for us? Because truth is, if we get Nigeria working, then you cannot think of referendum. You will now check if you truly want Biafra, or simply because Nigeria was not functional, that was why we wanted Biafra. Well, that's my personal opinion. Let's meet in our conversation. Do you agree with what MASSOB said? MASSOB technically, totally, in open and plain terms, exonerated Peter Obi, putting the whole blame on the defunct SARS and not Peter Obi, and wants Simon Ekpa to desist from those propaganda information. Let's interact.